I'm going to show you guys how to use the Relative Strength Index, aka the RSI. It's a momentum oscillator that measures the speed and change of price movements. I use it all the time and it's helped me spot awesome buys and shows me when markets are overheated. There's a few different strategies. Let's dive right into how to use the RSI. For checking out the channel. Every day we put out a new video about cryptocurrency education, markets, giveaways, and more. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any content. Now let's go to the moon. First of all, I'm using TradingView. TradingView is free. You can sign up and use everything that they actually offer without paying anything. So you can add the RSI. You'll come to indicators here and you can type in Relative Strength Index or RSI. It's already on my chart. It is one of the most popular oscillators. So as you can see, you just click it and it'll add another one. So if we go over the basics of RSI, first of all, the math equation you could find online. I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but some people really want to know the math and how it really works. So let's move my face to the other side. You can see here, first of all, we have a line. The oscillator trends from 0 to 100, and you can see the current value is about 42. So when the RSI actually falls below 30, it indicates an oversold market condition. Prices have fell very quickly, very fast, and it's in an oversold area. When the RSI is above 70, it is overbought. Markets have moved upwards very quickly and to the extreme. And you can actually toggle the RSI settings right here. I believe it is on 14, yep, and we'll just leave it at that. So that's the first strategy. People are looking for it to peak into oversold or overbought levels. So if we look on the weekly time frame of Bitcoin, let's take a look at some of these oversold levels. So you can see right here, this almost fell below oversold, but this was pretty much oversold. This was still a good, buying area a long time ago, but this pretty much indicated the bottom right here. You can see the RSI fell right below 30, and this was the bottom. And then you can see we went on to a huge bull run. And let me give you some warnings. So if the price in RSI actually breaks to the upside and is in overbought areas, it doesn't mean to sell. It doesn't mean to short. This is one indicator. And like other indicators, they don't just work single-handedly. It gives you information of the market and how it's moving. So you wouldn't want to base your trade just off an oversold or overbought reading just because you see how Bitcoin exploded in price while RSI actually kept going higher as well and kept moving. It did reset. You can see how RSI moved to the upside, it cools off a little bit and then keeps moving on. So you can see that the RSI was in an overbought area from the 23rd of May in 2016 all the way to December 17th. So if you ended up selling here and exiting and not rebuying, you missed a huge run up in Bitcoin price. So that's just my warning that you don't want to use these like as a single hand signal where you're just selling if it reaches oversold, or if you're just buying or when you're buying when it reaches oversold and when you're selling when it gets to overbought. So if we're looking at oversold areas as well, you can see here I look for larger time frames, and when they move into oversold areas, that's when I start looking to buy or long. I'm not a big fan of shorting Bitcoin, so if it moves to the upside and like we're overbought, that's fine. I look for divergences, which I'll explain that after. There's 3 different types of strategies. One's like just looking at oversold and overbought, as we are doing right here. You can see that pretty much marked the bottom as well. And then you can use this, which I'll show you in the next strategy, to find levels, like use trend lines and find the market structure being broken. And I'll show you guys that. But let's take another look. This is COVID. You can see the COVID crash definitely saw a huge sell-off in price and RSI. And right now as well, we're peaking down to lows that we haven't seen since the March crash. So maybe Bitcoin's getting into an area where we can start looking to buy or stack up if it reaches into oversold levels. Maybe you have to be really patient because these opportunities only come little so often. So like this was 2016, this was March 2020, and now we're 2022. So using larger time frames, you get less signals because you're waiting longer. But you can see right here on the daily, you saw this oversold spike right here, and that was actually a good time to get in. If you look at the percentage gain here, it actually jumped up 26% from this. Not from this solely, but you can use this to see that Bitcoin was very oversold. People were very fearful. And look at the last time it was this low on the daily. May 21st. So a few months ago, almost 6 months ago. And you can see here, this is one of the larger pullbacks we had in the previous bull market. I don't want to say previous, in the last huge run up. This is one of the bigger pullbacks, and you can see actually we consolidated for a long time. So when we did get into that oversold zone right here, we actually trended here for a long time, and that'll bring us into the next strategy. So I think I've covered overbought and oversold areas, so we'll cover trend lines and break of structure. So let me go back to the day and I'll show you guys examples of what I mean. So first of all, you can see this huge RSI trend from 2021. And you check this out. So after we had this huge run up in Bitcoin, crazy run up from Bitcoin, I was expecting a little bit more, but we had this huge run up in Bitcoin, and then the RSI came in a downtrend. And when I mean break of structures, I'm looking at when price moves, you're looking at an uptrend making higher highs, so something like this, and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows. And a downtrend, we're looking at lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So same thing with the RSI. You can see a downtrend, we're making highs, lows, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And same thing, I'm looking for this to be broken and for that trend reversal. So I'm looking for this to be broken to the upside, and you can see that when we did break this, how long was this? From the January 21st all the way to July. You can see this. Let's zoom in right here. When we broke this huge downtrend right here, you got an awesome buy signal. Like that was pretty much the bottom right here. And you can see this was a huge pump up, about 125% if you bought there. That was an awesome signal. If you pair it with other tools like the moving averages, the 4 and 9s that I always share, you can see that you got the golden cross here as well. So when you start to use multiple indicators, oscillators, whatever it may be, setups, candlesticks, you get more confluence, you get more confidence on that trade. So that's one setup. With the break of trend, the trend line break with the RSI. I'll show you guys another one which was super clean right here. So same thing here, we had a prolonged downtrend right here. Let's get this right here. You can see the top, another low, lower low, lower high, lower low, and you can see that we actually were oversold here. And then it broke up to the upside and retested this trend line. The same thing that we saw right here. So the retest would have actually got you a buy here, and that's solid support, So this would have gave you another, the snap of the trend line here, an awesome pump. Maybe you got stopped out or you sold, and then you took the next entry for that next big pump for it to come back down. But nonetheless, this gives you awesome signals, and when you pair it with other tools, you get, you know, just more confluence and you get more confident in your trading. I love using RSI, and I particularly use it on larger time frames. So you can use it on 4-hour, but you'll see it you'll see it swing to the upside and to the downside a lot faster because you're using slower time frames. I mean, smaller time frames, which are quicker. So you get a lot of whipsaws, you get a lot of volatility to each side. So let's go on to the third strategy. A lot of people just look at oversold, overbought areas and then skip to this one, which is divergence. So we're looking at bullish divergence or bearish divergence, but they don't actually show you guys the, you know, break of market structure where you're looking for that huge prolonged downtrend and then it breaks to the upside. Those are honestly really good buys. So I think a lot of people don't share that. That's some bonus material you guys could get. So let's look at some different types of divergences. Divergences simply mean non-confirmation. Divergence is a non-confirmation, and that means that, for example, right here where we're making lows, so you can see the price is grinding down. Let me see if I can get a better arrow for you guys. Yeah, you can see now evidently we're making lows right here. You can see lower, 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 while the RSI is starting to make highs. You can see we're making higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. So this is a bullish divergence, and just like also using the trend line break, I mean, you could become an RSI pro, that this was a clear buy and just a shift in a reversal, like a trend. It reversed the whole trend, and we clearly saw it follow in price after. So these are awesome ways to use RSI, like spotting divergence. Let's see if we can get one to the upside. So we'd be looking for the RSI to start breaking down while the price is going higher. So let's see if we can get a small one. Okay, so right here, actually, this is perfect. So you can see the price is higher here. This was obviously, and let me draw this right here, about 65,000, and then the price went higher to 68,000. But if you take a look at the RSI here, the RSI went lower. So this isn't indicating just like weakness in the strength of this move to the upside, and you should be weary of this move. You know, is there less volume? Is there less strength? And then you should take that as a warning because this is a bearish divergence. So if you have any questions about RSI, about how to use it, what kind of strategies to pair it with, post it all in the comments. I want to do more of these technical analysis videos. I'll make them longer. I'm just literally in a Las Vegas hotel and the internet is complete, you know, shit. So I can't upload long videos, but this is super useful. It's found me awesome entries, and using the bearish divergence, you can start exiting out if you think it's getting toppy, and it's just been awesome using RSI and pairing it with moving averages, for example. So as I mentioned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, let me know if you guys like these types of videos, and I'll produce more. I'll see you guys tomorrow.